Yahoo! Hello, hello, hello mga masters at mga ka-G! Good morning po sa inyong lahat dyan sa Pilipinas at sa buong Asian countries. At kung saan man kayo lumapalop ng ating daigdig, ay hayaan niyo muna kami ni G, the Green, Girly, Cutie Patuti Iguana, na batiin po kayo ng good morning, good noon, good afternoon, good evening at good night po sa mga ready ng matulog. At welcome po sa ating second day ng ating episode about eating burned food. Okay, sabi nila dito is eating the burnt part of the food can cause cancer. Yun po yung kanyang question dito, di ba? So kahapon po ay na-explain natin kung ano po yung mga risks at introduction po. Ang sabi po ng isang doktor na yun po hindi siya something na kailangan talagang i-worry. Pero syempre, as a homeopathic practitioner, syempre, as much as possible, kung iwasan po natin yan, mas maganda at an early stage. Kasi pag nagustuhan mo po yan, it will develop a habit psychologically, mentally, emotionally, nagiging part na po siya ng iyong taste buds, ng iyong, kumbaga, mahahanap-hanapin po siya ng iyong taste buds. So every time na makakita ka ng food or nagluluto ka po, you will unintentionally or unconsciously, extend the time for cooking because you want it extra, like you want it or some parts of it nga medyo burned kasi yun yung preference mo na. As much as possible, try to cook not as much as possible not fried or overcooked. We can do boil, we can do baked, we can do air fryer, but as much as possible, try to refrain from overcooking and burning your food. At ang sabi po sa ating topic kahapon na mas dangerous foods that are preserved are more dangerous dahil po sa nitrates na nakasama po sa mga preserved na mga foods. So ano mga kasi mga preserved na mga foods? Yun po yung mga ham, bacon, salami, hot dogs, o di ba? At yung beef jerky po is also a preserved food. Okay, so yun po, avoid natin po yung mga processed and preserved na mga foods kasi sila po ay harmful because of the ingredient called nitrates na nakakasira po. They're gonna be they can destroy the surroundings of our intestines. So, di ba? Yan po ang pinaka-importante po. Kaya we have to make sure that we understand kung paano po nangyayari po yan. So the nitrates processed in meats can damage the linings of the intestines and can increase the risk of gastrointestinal tract cancers. So, nakakos po siya ng cancer. Ultra-processed foods have also been linked to inflammatory and chronic health conditions as well as other types of cancer. Yeah, so when in doubt, okay, talk to your doctor. And sabi dito sa ating article. Okay, so if you have any concerns about cancer, whether it's from burnt food or otherwise, talk to your healthcare provider right away. When it comes to cancer, catching it early is key. Talk to your provider about your family history or any symptoms or risks that you believe might be present. It's crucial to give them the background to decide if you warrant any special screening or even genetic testing. Yung sabi ni Dr. Troncali. Kailangan po, if you have histories of cancer, let's say your grandparents or your mom, your dad, or your brother or sister, or your aunts, okay, not really, really distant family members, but it can also play a great role, like third or second generation. So, if you have known some of those health conditions like liver problems, kidney problems, heart problems, and other kinds of genetically connected caused health problems. So I think it's also good if you share that to your physicians or to your doctors, or if you want it holistically, if you're seeking for advices from a holistic doctors or from a homeopathic doctor, of course we have to deal with the root of the problem. So according to our experiences, in the field of Oriental medicine that if you have a problem, you have to dig deep on the root of the problem, from the root of the problem. So it means that you have to know what caused these problems. So of course, food is one of them. If you're fond of eating burned food, or if you're eating a lot of processed foods, frozen foods, of course, that's already one cause. Okay, but as soon as we are out from our mother's womb, okay, as soon as we are born, our body will have its own mechanism or processes. So what happens here is when we were young, of course, if we live with our parents, we will be eating what your parents are eating. Okay? That's very, very important. We will be considering their home foods, their regular foods or meals as what we call our home food or our tradition. So of course, that becomes your favorite, or that becomes, or that will be instilled in your brain. So every time you eat out or you go somewhere, the best food will still be your parents' food or your home food. Okay, you have to remember that. Unconsciously, no matter how much you hate your mom's cooking or your dad's cooking, no matter how much you hate your grandma's food, believe me or not, the moment you leave the house, and in most, not 100%, but most of the people will always miss their parents or their grandparents or their families own of cooking. Okay, still mom's food is the best. That's usually what you will hear. So like me, I was born and raised in the Philippines. I was born and raised in Iloilo City. Of course, we have our specific tastes. Ilonggos have a sweet taste. We always add sugar on what we eat. That's what, most of the foods that we cook, when we cook, we prepare, we always have a little pinch or sometimes more than a pinch of sugar or honey or whatever that can make it a little bit sweeter. Okay, so that's our tradition. That's our culture as an Ilonggo or from Iloilo City. But when you go somewhere else, if you go northern part of the Philippines, they want a little bit spicier, which Ilonggos are not really, really. Um, Most of the Ilonggos are not really on the level of loving a lot of hot or spicy stuff. But because we are used to a different culture, so that's what happens, mga masters. Okay, as we leave our parents' place, as we leave our house, let's say you got married at an earlier age, or you moved to a dormitory, or you moved to an apartment, or you started working early. So you leave your parents' house and you do it on your own. So that's the thing. So if you start doing your own thing, there's only two ways that you will do. It's either you follow your parents' culture or tradition, or the second is you start a brand new culture or you start a brand new habit. So if you have a partner which they have a different habit compared to your parents' habit or culture, and then if you decide to follow her habits or his habits, whatever. So what happens is if that particular lifestyle that you are trying to change or follow is better than your parents or your grandparents' culture or tradition, then you will end up healthier compared to your parents or compared to your previous from where you left, because as time goes by, you are introducing healthier stuff, or you're giving your body a much better um, um, food or time or whatever you're providing your body, that which was not provided before, or which sometimes was not enough to be provided to your body. So what happens here is your body will be recovering faster, and some of the health problems that your parents had will not be present on your system, because you have a healthier lifestyle. So that's why, mga masters and mga ka-G, I'm sharing this. It's not part of the lecture from the internet where I copied this, but because this is according to my experience. So as much as possible, avoid burning your food because we are talking about burned food can cause cancer. As much as possible, refrain from burning your food. Refrain from overcooking your food because you're already killing the enzymes. Aside from the enzymes, if you eat that burnt part of that food, I also have read from a previous article from a book that it says that every time you eat a burned portion, it is like smoking 600 cigarettes all at once. So let's say, for example, you eat a piece of steak that is burned, and that's one of the. Some people like burned steaks, or some people like the burnt part of the hot dogs or whatever. It is burned. That's the very first thing they eat because they like it. So imagine if you eat that certain part or that certain portion, that burned portion, it is like smoking 600 cigarettes all at once. And we have a bunch of patients here in our clinic that never smoked since they were born and they never drink, but they have lung cancer. And then I check their history, the kinds of food they eat, because I interview them, and they tell me that they love to cook out and they always have burger steaks or they always do barbecue on their backyards, and they love to eat barbecues, and always they love the burnt part, and that's the reason why they have some lung problems, and fortunately it's lung cancer even though they don't smoke. So yeah, our daily habits will really count. Alright mga masters, hanggang dito lang po tayo. Maraming salamat. G, and you're your own only master worm. God is great. Yahoo!